The Murkmire DLC was released earlier this week for PC and Mac, and with this patch comes a lot of class changes. So I wanted to take a look at each class, all the buffs, all the nerfs. In this video, we'll be checking out the Dragonknight class changes, and in the background, as usual, I just have one of my builds playing. This is the Dragon Warrior PvP build, so I will put a link to that in the description as well. So let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the Ardent Flame skill line. And Fiery Grip now got a nerf, this looks like. So Major Expedition is 4 seconds instead of 6 seconds. And this has to do with the changes to Major Expedition overall. So the comment was, in regards to movement speed, where we want there to be variability in the positive and negative directions during combat. If you know what this means, please tell me. I don't understand this comment specifically. Variability in the positive and negative directions. I don't see that there's any variability because they changed every movement speed buff got reduced to 4 seconds. So how is that variability? There's no variability in that. And the 4 seconds is so low that it really is hard to justify. The issue with this too is that snares are also 4 seconds, so it's not really, even a good counter to snares, because as soon as your speed goes away, the snare went away already. So I don't know. I don't understand this change. Lava Whip got decreased from 5 meters to 8 meters. And I believe the reason for this has to do with the passives, so don't freak out about this, because I believe that range comes back when the passives get adjusted. So let's keep looking. So Flame Lash, this is interesting. This is another nerf for sure. So they removed the stun from the Power Lash attack. And the comment was, we want all classes to be intentional about when they land stuns. So basically, no high damaging attack should have a stun component with it, is their logic. And you can see that with things like Crystal Frags, which got nerfed a little while ago. They took the stun off of that. It was a high damaging ability. It was a specialized attack, a proc similar to this. And so now they're finally getting around to Flame Lash, taking off the stun completely. And as well, the Power Lash is no longer free. So if you saw the Nightblade class changes, they did a similar thing with the Spectral Bow proc, where that used to be free and now it's half the cost of the original ability. Same thing here with Power Lash. So yeah, and they said because it can be used multiple times, which I guess is true, it's too much of a sustained bonus. And then they again compared it to Crystal Frags. So I guess I understand where they're coming from. It makes sense on paper, but I'm not sure how this is going to play out in PvP, for example, where Magicka DKs would depend on this skill a lot. So we'll see. World in Ruin, this is a passive. The ability no longer increases the damage of poison area effect abilities. Okay. It now reduces the stamina cost of all poison abilities by 25%. And the flame bonus remains unchanged. So let's see what the comment was. Since there are so few poison AoE abilities, this passive didn't feel very impactful. There's so few poison AoEs. And we're trying to help stamina Dragon Knights. Well, the thing about this, I'm not sure if the developers understand this, there's also not a lot of poison single target abilities. And actually the ones that are in the game, Venom Claw for example, for DK, these skills are super low cost already. On my Dragon Warrior build, the tooltip on Venom Claw is like 900 stamina. So now it's going to cost me, what, 650, 700 stamina? I don't understand this change. It's aimed at helping Stam, DK, Sustain, but these skills are already super low cost, so I don't think this is going to be very useful either. So it went from one kind of unused passive to a different passive, but it's still not going to be very impactful at all. What would be better, I think, is if they changed it to reducing the cost of maybe physical damage abilities, because that would affect a lot more in the toolkit Stamina DK is going to use. It would affect most of the dual-wield skills or two-hander if they went that route. Even one-hand and shield abilities are typically physical damage, so that would be a lot more helpful in terms of sustain. Like I mentioned, this is only going to affect Venom Claw, the breath skill, and then maybe poison injection might be the only other thing, or one of the morphs of snipe, but that might be disease damage, I'm not sure. Okay, so yeah, not a big fan of this change. This could have been done many different ways, and I don't see it being super useful. Oh well. Draconic Power now, this skill line, so fixed a couple issues with leap, and this was the passive that we talked about with melee range. So the passive now increases the range of all instant cast melee abilities 1 meter per rank, and it still has the health recovery passive. So they're trying to standardize all the DK range, the range of all the DK melee attacks. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. Spiked armor. Increase the duration. Okay. Not a lot of people use this morph, but okay. Earth and Heart, Ash Cloud. So they did some interesting things here. This actually got a buff, and so looking at DK healers, this skill might be more useful now. So increased the healing done by approximately 50%, and increased the heal on Cinderstorm 60%. And Eruption also got a damage increase. Damage over time got increased by 70%, which is a pretty big buff for this skill, so that's good. And they're saying in the comment that they want this to be more in line with Lightning Splash. Okay, so that makes sense. Let's see, Molten Weapons now, just a fix here. Obsidian Shield looks like it got a nerf as well, just, you know, shield nerfs across the board pretty much. So they reduced the health scaling on this a little bit, and then the bonus for the caster got dumped as well. So basically they're saying it's equivalent, you guys. Don't worry, it's going to be like roughly the same, because there are changes to how armor mitigation factors into damage shield calculations. So we'll see on this one. According to the dev comment, it's basically the same, but we'll see. Fix an issue with Fragmented Shield, and then Petrify got an update on the tooltip. So overall, I think the DK changes were not really very positive. There's definitely some missed opportunities here. I don't completely understand what they're doing with the Elder Dragon, and the melee range passive seems a little convoluted. So not too sure about this one. World in Ruin is definitely a big missed opportunity, I think. And then if you were Magicka DK, PvP especially, Power Lash got pretty much gutted, so get ready for that. And overall, didn't look too great for Dragonknights, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you still looking forward to playing your DK in Murkmire? What did you think about the changes, buffs, or nerfs? Let us know, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.